It should be a fun place.
You need to shop for that level of success. One Chanel bag.
It's not a Birkin bag.
Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is, what are we wearing? This age-old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet.
Welcome back to I Want Her Shoes podcast, where we explore ambition, confidence, reinvention, and the women designing lives with intention. I'm your host, Anna Anisin, and today's conversation starts with a question most of us probably don't think about enough. How much mental energy do we spend getting dressed? Not because you don't have clothes, but because you have too many decisions, right? Mm-hmm. What should I wear? Does this still fit? And then you don't want to try it because you don't want to know, right? Exactly. Is it appropriate? I feel like that's kind of not as important now because anything goes. I feel like Miami. Mm-hmm. Do you have the right shoes? Well, obviously here, I never have an issue with that.
We have a lot of choices.
Yeah, and then do I need to shop again? I mean, I feel like for most women, they like shopping, mm-hmm. right?
You need to shop your clothes first.
Yes.
Before you do that.
Exactly, and we forget about that. And for most women, especially those balancing careers, businesses, travel, family, and busy schedules, the closet becomes another source of decision fatigue, mm-hmm. which is kind of sad because it should be a fun place to be. And today's guest believes your wardrobe should do the exact opposites, and I believe the same thing, and it should simplify your life. And originally from Paris, Elsa Boutaric is the founder of ELSAB Styling, a luxury wardrobe strategy and management firm based right here in Miami. And she works with executives, entrepreneurs, high-net individuals, and private families to create wardrobe systems that make getting dressed effortless. Mm-hmm. Whether you're heading into a board meeting, traveling internationally, or managing multiple homes and mm-hmm. kids and everything. It isn't really about fashion. It's more about creating time, confidence, and more freedom to focus on what matters most. And today we're going to talk about style, personal branding, decision fatigue, luxury, confidence, and why getting dressed might be one of the most underrated productivity tools that we have. I would love to hear first, Elsa, about how did you end up in Miami? I know that you're from Paris, but what brought you here?
So my story with America started in 2014 when I studied fashion in New York, Boston School for Design. So I did study fashion marketing over there. I started working as a stylist in editorial at first. And then at some point, even though I loved New York, it became very, I would say, too much for me. Like the energy was like too intense. And so I transitioned to Miami and just completely fell in love with the city and stayed there until 2019. And then I was back and forth between Europe, London, Paris, and Miami, and then completely moved back after COVID in 2023. For me, it's amazing. It's just, first of all, it's not far from Europe. When you think about it, it's not too crazy.
Yeah, it's only like 7-8 hours.
Yeah, it's okay. To have young children, it's amazing.
Yes.
It's outdoor all the time, multicultural, you meet so many amazing people, beautiful energy. I love Miami. I think it's a great, great, great city.
Nice. Well, it's nice to have you back.
Yeah.
People often hear personal stylist and they immediately feel like they go to shopping, but what you really build are more like wardrobe systems. Mm-hmm. So what does that really mean? Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what is a wardrobe system.
So basically, when you just think about it, like one of the first things you do in the morning is to, get dressed to step out of your house, right? So the clients I work with, they're extremely busy people, high net worth individual, executive, entrepreneur. They already have achieved a lot of success. So for them, really the most important thing is the time. They build an ecosystem around them so they can delegate and just focus on what matters most for them, which is to be productive. And the wardrobe is also part of it because They travel a lot. They live between multiple residents. They also have a lot of events going on, and they need to know how to dress for that. And when you really walk into a closet not knowing, it's just some mental load, and you don't want that, right? It needs to be very clear for them. What I say is I build wardrobe that follow your lifestyle. So everything has a strategy, everything has a sense. So yes, I'm a personal stylist, but there's a lot of lifestyle component that goes into it because I take into consideration everything about them.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's very detail oriented.
Very detailed. Exactly.
And you mentioned that you work with executives, entrepreneurs, and people that are really, really busy. What are the biggest wardrobe mistakes busy people make?
Well, because they don't have the time, when they go shopping, they buy the wrong thing. Most of the time is they're either going to buy something that's not gonna work with what they have already, or the fit is going to be wrong. It's not going to be appropriate for their lifestyle or what they need. And so at the end, they end up with more junk in their wardrobe and nothing works together. So
that's my nightmare.
Yes, exactly.
And how much decision fatigue actually comes from a closet? Do you have any kind of data on that you could share?
I don't have any particular data, but what I can tell you is always hearing from clients, I'm wasting at least 20 minutes in the morning wondering what do I need to wear. And that comes back, every time I speak with clients.
Yeah, I saw it was something like 40 days a year or something crazy, or like 40 hours a year or something that we spend.
Exactly.
Like literally figuring out what to wear.
Yeah, so, and it's kind of like also, if you don't know if what you're going to put on you is appropriate with how you need to show up, it's just kind of like take some confidence away from you. Doesn't mean that you're not a confident person, but, when you are operating at that level of success, you need to show up for that level of success.
Exactly, yeah. You
right?
can't go to like Zara, whatever. Yeah. Well, you can mix that in.
You can mix it. I think it's more about putting clothes that represent your brand, because I'm not about just buying high-end luxury brand. You can mix and match things together as long as it represents you properly.
Yeah, no, 1000%. And you grew up in beautiful Paris, a city known for timeless fashion and style. How has your French upbringing influenced the way that you look and think about fashion?
I have to say that my two grandmothers were very much of my influence. My mom also had an amazing wardrobe. My father used to dress very well, my grandfather. So I was very fortunate to grow up in a family where everybody was really dressing very well. So I was very much influenced by that. And I think it's part of the culture as well, where we know how to get dressed. I think it has, for now, I would say that I find Paris not the same as it used to be. I think people before used to be more daring and creative. But for my own experience, my own journey, definitely my family has influenced me a lot.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
And you've worked with some incredibly successful people. What surprises you most about how they approach clothing?
Sometimes I have to say they don't have much knowledge about it. Like, they don't really know how to put things together. They really have no clue. And it can be very surprising because they are operating at such a level of success that you would assume that they would know more. And sometimes it's just because they don't think it's as important.
Right.
To the point when they realize that it's actually important.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, that's a really great answer. And many people think that buying more clothes solves the problem, but does it?
The way I look at it is this way. When I start to work with a client, I need to see the closet. The reason why is the closet is the foundation. First of all, I can understand what are your purchase behavior. Like, what do you usually lean toward when you buy something? I get to know more about you. And within that, I also understand which gap I need to fill from where you are right now and where you want to go. And obviously, during the wardrobe editing, I get rid of things. I obviously analyze everything based on your lifestyle, your body shape, like the whole ecosystem of my clients. And by doing so, I'm like, okay, this is what we need to fill in order to reach that goal. So I think buying clothes is not the problem. It's buying the right piece that you can multiply so many times. Like, what is the intention and the purpose of the piece?
So speaking of those right pieces. What pieces, let's say 5 pieces, every woman should invest, and also another 5 where we should save money. First, invest in
A good blazer, a good pair of shoes, a good handbag, a good dress pant, a good wide leg denim. That's what I would say.
So invest in those.
Yeah.
So you just have one of. I mean, you can never have one.
No, you can't have
I
one,
know.
but,
Yes,
like,
exactly.
On the top, on the top of
Yes.
my mind, this is exactly.
And then where do we save money?
This one, it can't be generic because it really depends on the person.
Yeah. Well, I feel like maybe t-shirts. Like we're not gonna spend $300 on a t-shirt.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure. Like basic, no, we don't need to go crazy expensive for basic, 100%. You know, we can find a good white tee at Zara. We don't need to spend $400 on a white t-shirt. That's for sure.
You've helped clients across multiple homes and countries. How do you create a wardrobe that's really functional instead of overwhelming, especially if you're traveling between homes and countries? That seems like it could be very stressful.
I'm also using a digital app for that, so I can centralize everything for my client there. So that's one thing, and I basically archive everything for my client there. So when everything is there.
And is it like your app or is it some app that is available to stylists?
It's not my app. It's a third party called it's called Hue and Stripe. They're very known, you know, in the fashion business for stylists.
Nice.
So this is what I use to be able to centralize everything there. And obviously it's, you know, organizing the wardrobe of my client between the 2 residents and really understand what lifestyle they have at one place, what lifestyle they have at the other place, and making sure that everything is seamlessly organized between the 2.
No, that seems like it's a lot of work, but
it is a lot of work.
So satisfying once it all comes together.
Exactly.
You're like, wow, this is so cool. How has your own personal style evolved since moving from Paris to New York and then to Miami?
So Miami, for some reason, we wonder, like, sometimes, like, even me, like, I feel like I want to dress more casual because of the weather, and I have to, like, no, bring back some structure, bring back some, you know, like.
Yeah, because you don't need jackets here.
No,
you know,
so like something like this is
I love that. That's so cute.
This is from Veronica Bird. This is J. Crew, like one of the latest barrel. I love barrel pant. Paris, it's more elevated. It's just different, but you can still be very well dressed in Miami, 100%. But you just might feel, you know, I'm more relaxed, more laid back.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, what about the difference between Paris and New York?
Well, Paris and New York, it might be really the weather in the winter. But New York, it's very much, beside that, for me, I didn't see much of a difference. I was still very much inspired the same way as when I was in Paris. I used to live in London also for 7 years. London is, for me, one of the best places for creativity when it comes to fashion.
They have some crazy fashion over there. A lot of people do custom clothes over there.
Yeah,
like, I feel like you see things there, like some outfits people make. And I feel like the most creative things you see people make themselves.
Yeah, London is amazing.
Yeah, because like I mean, you can buy that stuff, but a lot of it is not out of reach. So people really get creative, which is really cool to see. Let's talk a little bit about luxury because I feel like it's been coming up and it means different things to different people. What does like luxury mean today, and what is the difference between luxury and quiet luxury?
For me, luxury, especially working with high net worth individual and, you know, people who are very successful, it's peace, it's time, and it's freedom.
It's not a Birkin bag.
But it's true. It's not a Birkin bag. It's really about walking into a closet that is organized, that is functional, that doesn't give you mental clutter, but on the other end, that gives you clarity and makes the process of getting dressed very much effortless. That is luxury. Silence, peaceful, slow, all that energy. This is pretty much.
No, that's a great answer because I feel like a lot of people misunderstand what that really means, right?
Well, most of my clients, they don't want to see logo.
Yeah, when you talk to those people, they want even like custom made purses. They want something like nicer, you know, than a Birkin sometimes.
And I think luxury today for a lot of brands has become very much mass market. It just doesn't have the same feeling that it used to be. Like in the time of my grandmothers, for instance, you had your one Chanel bag or that one specific
and now people
piece.
have like 20 of them.
Exactly. So it was just different.
Yeah.
And I think the quality has changed also.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Even you could tell from like back early 2000s. Compare Chanel bag
Yeah.
Or a Louis Vuitton bag is so different now.
And when you're going that mass, unfortunately, it's hard to keep up with that level of quality.
And what about social media? Because I feel like it always tells us about trends. And I feel like now these brands, especially like Chanel and Dior, it's very different now. It's very trendy and it's so expensive. Like, I feel like I'll never buy anything from any of them now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just not a good investment. Right? You know?
Well,
But I mean, what are your thoughts about where are we going to be 5 years from now? Because I feel like how much more expensive can it get?
so for me, what I see a lot is people get tired to look like everybody else. That's one thing. People tend also now to go more to secondhand, also because
Yes, like that's very in right now.
Exactly.
Like all these like vintage, like, you know, archival things. you know.
exactly. So even if you were to buy a Chanel from the 80s and the 90s, the quality will be better.
Yes.
The design might also be one of the kind. You might also feel unique in that sense as well. It's definitely overwhelming right now. I definitely see a shift. I think that people are just buying differently. They need to understand much more the story. I think that buying logo.
Well, that's why Coach is like so popular again.
Yeah, like
Because if you want a logo, that's what people are buying because that's what they can afford to buy, right? Like.
yeah, I mean, I don't really deal with that brand so that much with my
Yeah,
clients.
I mean, I was looking at the most popular highest grossing bag brands, and that was the one. Which is crazy because I don't, growing up, that was like what your mom had or your grandma had. Now they're marketing it completely different way.
No, sure. For my client, what I see with my client is definitely uniqueness. They don't want to feel and be seen like the mass because now a lot of luxury brand has become so mass that they don't want to be associated with that anymore. That's just what it is. And vintage is definitely a thing. Secondhand is a thing. Repurposing some of your pieces, it's also a thing.
Yeah, I do that a
see.
lot. I do that a lot with my stuff. I get it remade into something else. But,
Yes.
you know.
So we need more story, more meaning, and I think this is definitely coming back.
Yeah.
More authenticity.
Which I
100%.
think is good, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I
amazing.
love that. How would you describe your personal style in 3 words?
Oh, it's a mix of classic, modern, creative. That's what I would say.
I love that. That's really cool.
Mix of the three.
And I know you said you couldn't wear heels, but does the pair of shoes that you wear, is there a good story behind them?
Yeah, I have a pair of Gucci stiletto slingback, the canvas Gucci, which I'm wearing all the time. And the story behind is just that when I gave birth to my daughter, I was in the rush to go to the clinic and I had nothing to wear and they were just there and I had to put them on.
That's cool. That's such a cool story.
And I just, went to the clinic with them.
That's one of the best stories that I've heard. Let's do this or that. Paris or Miami?
Wow, Miami.
Good answer. Vintage or designer? I feel like we just answered vintage. Yes. Closet edit or shopping spree? Also, closet edit. Yeah. Black or white?
Black.
Yes. Heels or sneakers?
That's a hard one. Heels.
Yes. If you could, you would.
Yeah, heels.
Carry on or checked luggage?
Carry on.
Yep, I agree. I don't like. I get stressed waiting for my
Yeah.
lab. Like always
Me
think
too.
it's not going to show
Me
up.
too.
Capsule wardrobe or statement pieces?
Statement pieces.
Gold or silver?
Gold.
Blazer or leather jacket?
Blazer.
Luxury handbag or luxury vacation?
Luxury vacation.
Yes. Morning routine or evening ritual?
I like morning routine.
Same. Classic or trendy?
Classic.
Shopping online or in store?
In store.
Wardrobe investment or beauty treatment?
I love that.
Yes, both.
Both. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I know.
Like both.
Style or comfort?
Comfort.
Comfort. I feel like when you're younger, you do style.
Yeah, no,
then
comfort
later
over
do
everything,
the
yeah.
comfort, yeah. Well, Elsa, thank you for such a thoughtful conversation. I think one of the biggest takeaways today from you is that style isn't about impressing other people, and it's about creating a life that feels much easier and more comfortable. It's about removing friction from your day, reducing unnecessary decisions, and building confidence before you even leave your house. And fashion comes and goes, but personal style is something much deeper. It's knowing who you are, it's showing up consistently. And it's recognizing that sometimes the smallest systems, like just opening your closet every morning, can have the biggest impact on how we move throughout the world and throughout our day, right? Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of I Want Her Shoes podcast. This was so much fun. Mwah.
Thank you so much for having
Of course. And now I would like for you to choose a pair of shoes that best represents you, and I'm going to take a Polaroid.
This is like, wow.
I have no idea what you're gonna pick because I feel like you were very creative and you could go either way.
Oh my god. Okay, let's go toward. I like this pair a lot. Valentino.
Oh my god, I love those. Those
Yeah.
are so cool.
So cool. Yeah, I really like them. This is insane. This is amazing. This is so. Oh my god. Wow.
Clothes.
A lot of vintage.
Yeah, I don't really buy a lot of stuff. Remix, reuse a lot of things. And those are all the ladies that have been on the podcast, so.
That's what I like to see in wardrobe. You know, like there is so much identity.